It was a dark and stormy night.
Master! The plan!
So, it is a dark and stormy night, and I am making a mad scientist lab for Matthias. We are, come with me, converting this loft bed, or not really converting it, this was my brother's growing up. So we are now going to paint it. I'm going to paint the main parts green, and then I'm going to paint this part a chalkboard paint so that he can put out all of his little mad science equations on there. But since it's Ikea furniture, it's gonna take a little bit of prep. So we're gonna do some of that tonight. The finished product is gonna have a curtain for the loft part underneath with some sort of science fabric, and then underneath is going to have a secret little lab that he can do his science in, and we'll get to that as we go. But right now it's prepping and painting, so we'll see how far we get tonight. First step is apparently sanding, just to give it a bit of a purchase area. So we'll start like that. I feel like I'm like playing a cello or a violin. These are really terrible shots, but I don't really know what else to do because I've got this. Got this. Oh. This is the place where this can be. Just have to imagine what's happening in the rest of the workshop. We've reached the fuck it portion of the life of the channel right now. I mean, y'all definitely deserve to have amazing shots, but I also deserve to get stuff done. See, this is like almost artistic. Okay, well, cool. Come here. Welcome to the chaos. Yeah, so I think that's all we have time for tonight. Sand in the thing, and then we're gonna paint tomorrow, I guess.
Are you the criminals? From the statistics?
Spooky sounds outside. See you tomorrow for more of the Mad Scientist Lab. So I have discovered that this primer is a bit wet. So we're gonna start small and see how that works. I'm gonna try and prime the ladder today. Smells like eggnog. Part of my question with this is, do I want smoothness? Do I want coverage? Like, should I really shellac this on, or should it be like a light coat? And like, will brush strokes matter? Like, will that create texture? I'm not sure. So I'm trying to, have a mix of the two. Trying not to have drippy drips down the side. But that's kind of hard when it's so runny. We shall see. It was at this point that I started watching Sherlock Holmes, so my audio was wonky. But as you can see, the dripped shellac stuck to the cardboard as it dried, a lesson I would immediately forget.
But if he is still alive, where is he?
I have no idea. But I do have an urgent request. It's now well past 4 in the morning. May I go to sleep?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Watson.
Well, what time is it?
Dawn.
More shellac. I think I'm gonna wait for the big one until these dry so that I have actually a space to do it. These things always take longer than you expect. Welcome to Midnight Shellac Part 4. Revenge of the drippiness. I am really tempting fate by wearing my work clothes doing this, but you know, I'm a risk taker. In ways like this and not in like jumping out of plane ways. So tonight, we've got this beauty to shellac. I'm not gonna shellac this part because that's gonna be under the mattress, just this and this, but we need to have the room in which to do it. And as you can see, all of my cardboard has been taken up with the smaller pieces. So I'm gonna try and shift some things around, get this on that, get those off.
Wait a minute. Strike that. Reverse it.
And then shellac that and maybe try and sand what I have already shellacked to see if it works and is not all bumpy. So, mistakes were made. This nail is coming out. This wood back here kind of shattered. I'm gonna whack it a couple of times, see if that helps, and then see if it needs any reinforcement. Nope. Okay. At the bottom. You can see the tiny little kind of hole right there. That is where the little nail went all the way through the thing. So it's not holding it anymore. This hammer's too big for this job. You're just making things worse, aren't you? Yeah, so here's the flaw in the design, right? Because every time I pick it up by the center, this part pops out. Because there's nothing really holding it in there, and I'm not sure why. So something to contend with. It should not cause like a structural problem for the bed, because this is where the mattress is gonna go. And all the force is gonna be down. It just might cause a problem when we're trying to bring it upstairs. Welcome back, our old friend, the wood glue. Problem solved? Question mark? All right. Frick. I do want to have some amount of finesse.
I have finesse. I have finesse coming out of my bottom.
Now we're ready. Now for that bit. It makes me really sad to like paint over this because There's so many knots in this wood, it makes me wonder like if it is the Ikea wood that everybody's talking about that doesn't take paint or stain or whatever, because it looks like real wood. It's really pretty, it's just a little too blonde for the room it's going into. And if I had felt confident, I would have tried to stain it, but hopefully the green will look nice. So, just get situated. My initial thought was to do those panels first, but I'm thinking actually I should probably finish this so that I can get it the fuck out of here. Or at least like out of the way so that I can do other things. I don't have as much green as I remember having, but it is really only for like the borders and stuff. And hopefully with the primer I won't have to do too many coats. So I'm gonna wait for this to dry and then I'm gonna do a little bit of sanding and we'll see how the first coat of this takes. If I have the energy after eating dinner. Okay, it appears to be dry. Seems pretty smooth. Well, in trying to set up the camera, I broke it again. This part. I'll have to flip it around in order to fix it. So I think I'm just gonna paint it first and then fix it. It's gonna be a similar thing of whacking it with a hammer and then glue, I think, at this point. But hopefully I won't have to move it around too much after that. Aside from carrying it all the way back upstairs. We're gonna let it dry for a few hours and see where we are from there. Slow and steady. Well, maybe not steady, but definitely slow. Now it is time for dessert and Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Well, I am trying this method now. I was worried about drips, but the green seems to be less drippy than the white. Unfortunately, because we laid it on the cardboard and drips happened, then cardboard got on here, so I'm gonna try and peel some of this off. I was going back and watching some of my old videos, and past me said, only put a little bit of paint and then add as we go. Which will probably save me some paint in the future if I don't try to just do it all in one coat. So we've got light coats on all these. With these, I think I'm gonna do the chalkboard first and spray it and then paint the borders around. Hopefully that'll work. But for now, I'm gonna have dinner.
It being 2-1 against.
Stay here in my garden, where love grows green and wild. Come to my garden, come, sweet child. Hey y'all, I'm sick, so I'm not gonna film that much, but I did a first coat on the back of these, and I'm gonna try and spray paint these. we'll see how it dries. Okay, so as you may have gathered, I was dumb of ass yesterday, and did not wear any sort of protection. And this morning my snot was black, so we're gonna wear our mask today. But they look really good. Look, that looks like a chalkboard, right? Hell yeah. It says to do at least 2 coats. I'm hoping I have enough in the can for that, because I still have to do the other sides of these. That might need to be a second can situation. I'm gonna do these first, next coat on those, just so that I don't have to wear the mask as much, and then we will get spraying. It is time for Darth Vader. And now we wait. Okay. Pneumonia's done. Now we're gonna spray paint some more. I love the fact that the chalkboard paint leaves a powder, and so you can see all of my footprints throughout. It is quite a messy process. And this is what my bathtub looked like for longer than I would like to admit. And now for something completely different, more painting things green. But first we've got the dramatic reveal of taking the tape off to see if any of the paint comes off with it. We'll see. Okay, there's been a little bit of paint peelage, but mostly on the places that I haven't painted yet, so that is useful, as you can see here. But they look pretty solid. I do have these streaky things happening. I think it's because the primer was white on white. I was not able to see where it had been painted versus not, so I think that's the difference there. And then we have some dots, but I don't think he's gonna care. And here you can watch me face my hubris in real time. Oh, fuck. I knew it. I knew it. Didn't take... Slow. I saw some folks on the internet use a piece of paper as a barrier for the paint, so I tried that. Oh, look at that. Yeah, see? Not good. Let's tape. That's the lesson. If you take time to prep, you can do it faster. If you don't take time to prep, you have to do it annoyingly slow. Okay, coat number 1. Legs. Okay, at this point, I know y'all are thinking, this doesn't look like a mad science lab, this looks like a loft bed that she's painting green, and currently you would be correct. However, the magic comes when we install, and that's gonna be in like a week, so it's gonna be a little bit, but I wanted to show you some of the cool stuff that I got for this mad scientist lab situation. Also, you can't really, my face is... So, science things. So one thing will be this fabric. I'm gonna make, this is a step that I'm dreading. I'm gonna make a set of curtains. Me and sewing are not friends, but as you can see, it's got some really cool sciencey things on it, which I think you will enjoy. And that will be the curtain to hide the secret lab. We're gonna have a bookcase, which is downstairs, that I am going to fill with science books, different experiments, magic school bus. And he does have a lot of science books already, so. Like, oh goodness. This will be his little desk, on which there will be this. It is a microscope that comes with Lots of little handy dandy slides, and they are not like real slides. I don't know if you can see, but they have like pictures of bugs and things on it. And when you put it in, it talks to you. Oh.
Hi, I'm Vindy Allen from the You Chose the What Ad. Press the facts button to learn facts, or press the questions button for a quiz. Let's learn about the What Ad. The What Ad uses its strong jaws like hands to build nests, hold food, and carry its babies. Catch you later.
I feel like that would be a lot of fun. So that will go on his little lab table. Here's some more science books, some of which I got at in LA. Jabari Tries, Ada Twist Scientist, and Rosie Revere Engineer, which are 3 of his favorites that we constantly get from the library. So these are his now to keep. There is this. He loves remotes and buttons of all kinds. And this is one of those like little fiddly things that like I got it secondhand, so some of the circuits are not quite working. But each of the little buttons does a light up thing. Like there are keys. Ta-da! The green one. Yeah, so for science. And then here's the big part. I got a science learning lab set. I think, yeah, everything except for the fabric was secondhand. It comes with a lab coat, safety goggles, a set of funnels, all kinds of pipettes and tubes and stuff, all plastic, thank God, because he's been using a lot of our glassware to do pouring science. Yeah, like little beakers, a little like stand for everything, a little lab name tag. And so this will be displayed all around the underneath in the secret lab. And in addition to that, I've made an inventor's kit, which I suppose I could go downstairs and show you. All right, let's take a trip. Here is the inventor's kit. I'm giving him one of my levels, and I just went through my workshop here and gathered some nifty things like hinges and clothespins and this little pulley, an S-hook, springs, this thing, which is a child safety thing that he pulled off of the drawer, but he loves to play with, some rubber bands, some paper clips. This, I feel like it was like a pendulum. It was my grandfather's, and it's really fun to play with. He was an engineer, so something to do with that. We got keys. We've got string, chain, toothpicks. Got little foam balls. We've got some plumbing leftovers. We've got this, which came off of our hose because it kind of broke, but it has little valves, which is fun. Screwdriver, his own little socket wrench, and his own little laser level, because I can't figure out how to use the laser level effectively, so I'm giving it to him. So as you can see, we're moving in a science direction. It's just all gonna come together at the end. We're doing the structure first, which is taking some time and is rather tedious, but then we get to do decorating Mad Science Lab.
The final painting.
Coat number 2 is complete, which is good because I am running out of green paint. But barring potentially having forgotten to paint an entire side of something, I think I'll be okay. We're going to take off the tape and see what touch-ups we need to do with like a very, very small brush. And then polyurethane the borders and set this, which apparently you have to do by like scribbling over with chalk. Trucking along. Okay, so Lee and I prepped them, which involved putting chalk on it, wiping the chalk off, and then we washed it off. When we peeled back the paint, it kind of revealed a little bit of areas that need touching up. So Lee is gonna touch that up tomorrow. I was hoping to poly tonight, but that is not going to be able to happen since we have the touch-ups and stuff. So, you know, on we merrily plod. Okay. Lee is out playing Magic, and I just got the bean to bed. And there was a lot of negotiation, a lot of storytelling. It was delightful, but very sleepy now. We did the touch-ups, which are wonderful. I was hoping to do the curtains tonight, but what I think I might have to do is break it down into smaller steps where I maybe cut and pin the curtains tonight and make them tomorrow, because I am so tired. Luckily, I have a fantastic template for them because these are the curtains that my mom made for my brother when the loft bed was his. So I have an excellent start on the pattern for this fabric. Interestingly, the pattern on the fabric goes this way, and I was kind of hoping it would go that way. But since it is so long, initially I was thinking I wouldn't be able to kind of double up so that you have the pattern on both sides. We might be able to do that. Just might be a little short. Aha! This part is not straight. Remember my wonderful thing about wood?
I think my fatal flaw is assuming that all wood is square or level.
Luckily, I have plenty of fabric. It's just in the wrong direction. Let's just say we're gonna do a yard. Isn't it funny how I thought I was gonna do this and watch a movie at the same time? I feel like this is a very faulty method because the top isn't even. So it's hard for me to kind of gauge what I'm actually measuring from. Like, not only is the white fabric not even, the print line underneath the white fabric isn't even, but I think it's curtained, so it may not matter. Ideally, we'll just cut the same amount of fabric. I don't know why sewing is so much more nerve-wracking than if I get wood wrong. Maybe because I have a shit ton of wood and I only have so much of this fabric. Okay. This seems long enough, so perhaps it will be okay. And then I'll pin the top of this in two parts, like a little bit here and then a little bit underneath the bar. And this will be the point, hopefully, that I can do while watching something. As we can see, the cutting method did not work as well as I had hoped, but hemming hopefully can hide a multitude of sins. Okay, so I did the first one with pins, hemmed almost all the way around. I think I have a little bit of a very large hem here that I'm gonna end up cutting. But I wanted to, so I pinned this part, and then I pinned this part to this part just to see lengthwise how long it would be. I realized that probably the thing that makes sense is to pin and hem, bwomp, 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 flip over, so hem the bottom. But I don't want to sew tonight. I just want to pin. So what I did do was I ended up just folding the last bit in half because it is 4 yards, and I measured a yard for the first one. So hopefully this will be roughly around the same size, and it was so much easier to cut. So on we blindly stumble. Okay, while Bean is watching Young Jedi, I'm going to try and be sneaky and try and repair this bed with glue. And then possibly, if I have time, do some touch-ups. Here, as you can see, the nails are coming out. They're getting separated. And also up here, this part is getting separated from the slats. So, wood glue time. Yeah. Everything takes so much more time than I'm expecting. It took me like 10 minutes to find the wood glue. And now the top is stuck, so... Whoa! Frack. That's because it was on the ground. I'm just gonna have to do it in a stupid way. Not the most finessey way to do it, but best way I know how right now. I think it's clamps all the way down. Uh-oh. That's not quite working. Because this is getting in the way. I think I might have to lay it down, which I hate, and just put heavy things on top. Whoa. Okay, I am very angry right now because in trying to get it down, I broke it again in multiple places. This thing is the bane of my existence right now. I want to murder it. And I want to be able to like pull it back or hang it up somewhere, but that requires money and strength, multiple people power to make this happen. And that's something I don't have right now.
Please don't mistake my measured bank tone for calmness, as I am filled with waters of rage.
I'm betting that when we move it upstairs, we're gonna have to glue and nail again. But this is what I've got right now. I was hoping to touch up some of the sides of it, but no, I'm gonna go do other things for a bit. Guess what else I did? I hate everything. Okay. Happy Mother's Day. It's been a weekend. The bean had a big old birthday bash. We got very crispy in the sun. We had Mother's Day. I'm very tired, but we have one last thing to do, and it is a thing that I have been dreading. Welcome to my purgatory. I desperately want to be able to sew, but I often will find myself spending about 45 minutes figuring out how to rethread the bobbin. So we're going to take out a lot of the pins that we put in yesterday just to see how it would all look. We're going to hem, and then we're going to make curtains. Yeah. It is rather a telling thing that I never trust the machine to go in a straight line automatically, and I'm like yanking it here and there, when really I just have to keep the weight of the fabric from pulling it down, and then it'll just kind of go in a straight line, ideally. You know, lessons in life. You don't always have to yank things. It wasn't until much later that our heroine realized one of the panels was upside down. Okay, today's the day. Here is the current setup. And we are going to uninstall the bed and install the new one. Wish us luck that everything is in place and not broken and there are no major hiccups.
Isn't the shiny bit meant to face up?
I don't think it matters.
I think it does.
Got it? Have you got it?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Where's the pen gone?
Uh-oh.
What?
The shiny bit was supposed to face up.
Ah, biscuits.
Okay, this is one of those moments where I wish I was doing this live so I could ask you all a question. So we have this bed. His original bed was over here in this corner, but this bed is much bigger. I'm thinking of scooching it in that corner because then he has the little cloud light above him for his bedtime reading. But then we have this mirror that kind of goes there, and I'm worried that's going to distract him when he's trying to get to sleep. And also it's like different from what he had before. I think I'm leaning in that direction. Maybe if we get rid of the mirror. Unexpected things. Always. Okay, this is where we ended up, and I think it actually looks pretty badass. We're gonna have a little nook over here for reading or something. And it has readily available chalkboard. I am gonna go to the store to get some LED lights, because as Nerdforge says, everything looks better with LEDs.
Doc?
Okay, I'm back. Doing several things at once. I wanted to put up the curtain just to see first or second how much I need to hem. And then also, I have the LED lights. And I want to see where they can be attached to the ceiling. Yeah. I got some lights.
Yeah.
I love how I was like, oh, maybe I'll even get a chance to clean the house today, because this probably won't take too long. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock now, guys. Why? Get off. I remember this being a bit bigger. Now my back is already starting to go. So I have done this for myself. I'm probably going to be spending a lot of time under here after this day. Not just today, but with him. Which is going to be great, but also my back. Definitely should have worn hair product or put my hair back today. The neurodivergent sensory hair in the face is a problem. But of course, the neurodivergent, I'm too focused on this and I don't want to move, is also a factor. This is 50 feet long. I'll have to think about that. Should not be this difficult. I stand by that. It's not me, it's you. Oh, that's nice, actually. It's good on the back. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna try and double up. So these are going on the sides. I can continue on the sides and then bypass it so that it can go underneath and like go around a second time. Hopefully that will add to the dazzle. Razzle, dazzle. The curtains have curtained. Let me get it better. Curtains are done. Ta-da! Yeah. And now to decorate. Okay, full disclosure, the mattress has not come in yet, so we're working with his little mattress right now. Hopefully that will be okay and not a detriment to the sleep process this evening, but I'll show you. It's pretty big. Not in there.
Look at this.
Yeah. What is that?
A real science tent.
Is it a secret lab?
Yeah, it's a secret. I'm under the science stuff under here.
And a new bed.
Hey, look what's under here. A secret science lab. Under here is a secret science lab.
Look at this. I think it turned out really well. He was thrilled, which it was always a risk because you spend months working on a thing and then you think, oh my God, we're only getting him this one present. What if he doesn't like it? But he absolutely loved it. He was so excited. Yeah, I'm really proud of the work we did. One thing I want to show you that I forgot to film was this little thing, this little dowel. So there's holes here. It was supposed to be a metal rod, but we lost it somewhere. And so ended up being that I bought a rod at Lowe's, like a little dowel, guessed the size. I bought 2 and this was the correct one. Estimated / eyeballed the length, cut it off with a handsaw and stuck it in, and it worked. So gotta love when it works out that way. Just a little bit of math magic. So let's get into the lessons learned. It's gonna take more time than you think it will. Estimate time, add a bunch more time. I think this is gonna be a lesson that I am constantly learning, especially when you have a small space, a day job, a child, a life. Things are gonna take more time. Painting this bed is not 1 step. It is 12 steps. Sanding, priming, sanding again, painting 1 coat, painting another coat. Multiple sides. Speaking of space, lesson number 2 is another lesson I'm going to continue to be learning is you need more space. I tend to just stuff things in the garage when I don't want them in my general living space, but then it makes it really difficult when I want to make something big in there. And that garage right now is trying to be a lot of things. It's trying to be a gym. It's trying to be a workshop. It's trying to be storage. We're hoping maybe to have a yard sale soon. You remember this moment?
Sweep up every day.
Didn't happen this time. Gonna hopefully spend some time cleaning it out in a bit. 3rd lesson. When making an evil science lab for your son, and the favorite thing he loves is pouring science, think about the fact that he will want to do pouring science in his bedroom under the bed. We still have not yet figured out a solution to that. He wants to do pouring science in his secret lab. I'm not necessarily sure I want him to be doing pouring science in his secret lab right now, so we have a setup in the dining room where he does his pouring science.
What happens if it's there and put it in there?
Ooh.
This.
Ooh.
Science.
And
He's brought friends over to this though, and he's been so excited to show them, so it makes me very happy. So that's it for this episode. And I'd love to know if you have made anything for your kids that you're really proud of, like the Secret Science Lab, like a dollhouse or a toy or an environment for them. Please let me know in the comments what cool stuff you've made. I would love to see pictures if you're willing. So yeah, thank you so much for coming along with me on this epic journey to make a Secret Science Lab, and I will see you around the workshop. Bye.